Hello, everyone. Let's continue our experiment. In this experiment, we have said we will use two methods to observe to select of analgesics. Just now we use the chemical method. We intraperitoneal inject acetic acid and induce pain to calculate the times of writhing response. And in that experiment, we have proved the tested drug PE has analgesic action. And in this experiment, we will use the second method also to select analgesics, also to prove PE has or doesn't have analgesic action. The second method, we will observe the analgesic effect of PE with a hot plate method. Let's study the experimental principle. The period from putting the mouse onto the hot plate to the time when it begins to lick its hind claw due to pain. This time we call this pain threshold. Okay, so let's watch the video and you can know the details. What's the meaning of pain threshold?
This is a hot mouse response to the analgesics by hot plate method. This is a hot plate. Turn on the instrument and prepare the hot plate temperature at 55 degrees. When the hot plate reaches the required temperature, it can be used. I see the pain threshold of mouse. Put a mouse on the hot plate, and at the same time press the pedal to start the timing and observation. Observe carefully till when the mouse begins to lick its hind paws, not front paws, to press the pedal again, and take the mouse away from the hot plate at once. The period showed on the instrument is the pain threshold of this mouse. So the pain threshold is the interval time from when the mouse is on the hot plate to when the mouse licks its hind paws for the first time. Please record the pain threshold. Note 1. During the first time of pain detection for a mouse, if the pain threshold is longer than 30 seconds, this mouse shouldn't be used for experiment. 2. After administration of the analgesics, because of the analgesic effects, the pain threshold of mouse could probably be prolonged. When you assess the pain threshold after administration, if a mouse has no response of licking hind paws
30 seconds later. Okay, let's continue. Thus now we have know the definition of pain threshold. That this pain threshold means the period from putting the mouse onto the hot plate to the time when it begins to lick its must be hand claw due to pain. This period, we call this pain threshold. So let's do the lab. In this experiment, we also use 3 mouse, our experimental animal, but a little different from the first method. In the first chemical method, we use 3 bigger mouse, the body weight about 28 to 32 gram. And in this lab, we will use 3 little mouse, the body weight about 20 gram. Okay, let's continue. The experimental drugs and the experimental equipment, same with the first method. We also observe the analgesic action of PE. And normal saline, we use normal saline also as the negative group. And here is normal saline. The third one, this one is morphine. We use morphine as the positive analgesics, and we have studied that morphine has the strong analgesic action. Okay, but in this method, we will use a hot plate. So we use thermostatic water base as the hot plate, and also use some injectors beakers. Okay, let's do the lab. The first step, adjust the temperature. Adjust the temperature of the water in hot plate in thermostatic water base should be adjusted in the scope of 55 centigrade. And we use this machine. This is the hot plate machine. And we adjust the hot plate temperature is 55. And then we also use the electronic balance. Okay, the first step, let's do. Okay, we have prepared the hot plate 55 centigrade, and we also prepare the electronic balance. Okay, take the mouse, the first mouse, and put it into the hot plate and test its pain threshold. Before we give drugs, and we should test the pain threshold of each mouse. Okay, just now have you seen the mouse link its hind limb, hand foot, and this time 10.91 second is each pain threshold. Okay, put the second mouse into the hot plate and test its pain threshold. Just now the mouse link its hand claw. So write down the pain threshold of each mouse. Okay, the second method. The second step. In the second step in this lab is to measure the pain threshold. Just now we have done. We take 3 selected mouse should be weighted and then marked by painting nitrophenia, the yellow solution. Another name is baric acid. And then pain threshold of each mouse should be measured before administration. So just now we have watched the video. We should take 1, 2, 3 mouse and we should test their pain threshold. The method we have known, put the mice onto the hot plate, covering it with a beaker and at the same time write down the exact time. Reject the mouse which won't link hand foot is 30 seconds. Okay, so let's continue. We take the mouse. Just now we have watched this video and put into the hot plate. Put onto the hot plate, and then turn on the switch. When the mouse link its hand claw, and record time. This time it's pain threshold. Must less than 13. Okay, the first one is 10. And the second mouse, test the pain threshold. AK, have you seen? The mouse link because pain, too hot to pain. Because too hot to pain. So the mouse link is a hand claw. And this period, this time, we call this pain threshold. Okay, so we finish the second step of this experiment, measuring the pain threshold, and then we give drugs, administration drugs. The first mouse, we subacute intraperitoneal injection, normal saline, as the negative control group. The second mouse, we will inject PE, and PE, we use this experiment to observe its analgesic action. Same administration method, intraperitoneal injection. Each 10 gram, we give 0.1 milliliter PE. The third mouse, we will inject morphine as the positive control group. Okay, let's do the lab. These three drugs in different mouse, we use the same method, intraperitoneal injection, same doses, each 10 gram, 0.1 milliliter. Okay, let's do the lab. The first mouse, we will inject normal saline as the negative control group. You can use your one hand or two hands to arrest the mouse. Intraperitoneal injection. Do you remember the method of intraperitoneal injection? Lower abdominal cavity near the middle line, and then subcutaneous intraperitoneal inject the drugs. Just now we inject first drug, normal saline. This is acetic acid. In the first lab we have used. And this one is the second one. Second mouse is 10 gram. We give 0.1 milliliter PE. Also use intraperitoneal injection. Okay. The drugs. This is the third one as the positive control group. So we will intraperitoneal inject morphine. Okay, we have prepared for morphine. Also use intraperitoneal injection, lower abdominal cavity near the middle line, and inject drugs. After we inject different drugs in different months, don't forget, record the time. Okay, just now the first one, we inject normal saline. The second month, inject PE. And the third one, intraperitoneal inject morphine. And let's wait 15 minutes. Pain threshold should be measured in 15 minutes, in 30 minutes after administration respectively. If the mouse never link its hind foot in 50 seconds, it should be get out avoiding clothes be burned. Then its pain threshold is considered as 60 seconds. We have injected different drugs and let's wait 15 minutes. During these 15 minutes, we can imagine. The first one, we inject normal saline. Normal saline doesn't have analgesic action. So, doesn't have analgesic action, so the pain threshold may be changed from 10.9, change into 11, 12, or change into 9, 8 seconds. And later we will know In fact, we also have known normal saline doesn't have analgesic action, though pain threshold is changed. We can know it doesn't have analgesic action. And the third one, we inject morphine. We inject morphine, we know morphine have a strong analgesic action. So that means after inject morphine have strong analgesic action, the pain threshold will be prolonged. Yes, excellent. The pain threshold will be prolonged from 10 seconds to 40, 50, maybe to 60 seconds. And then PE. We don't know the result. Later we will do the results. And for example, maybe before we inject PE, we know the pain threshold of the second mouse about 10 seconds. And after we inject PE, if the pain threshold is prolonged to 40, 50 seconds, we can know PE compared to itself, PE have analgesic action. And then compared to morphine, we can know PE has strong or weak analgesic action. Understand? Okay, so let's do the lab. Just now we have waited 15 minutes. So let's put the mouse onto the hot plate again to observe the pain threshold again. Okay, let's do the lab. So let's put the first mouse onto the hot plate. Is it the first one? I'm not sure. Just no, it is the second one. Do you remember? Because on the back, so means this mouse, we have inject PE. We inject tested urines. And from this video, you have seen the pain threshold is prolonged by PE. Okay, and we also said if the pain threshold more than 60 seconds, you should take the mouse out. Okay, so we tested the pain threshold repeatedly. After inject different drugs 15 minutes, we inject pain threshold again. And we also observe the pain threshold after we inject different drug 30 minutes and 60 minutes later. So let's see the results. The first one, inject normal saline. Before inject normal saline, and the pain threshold about 15 seconds. And 15 minutes later, be prolonged to 18. And 30 minutes, 19, 60 minutes, 20. Okay. And the second one, the tested urgence, inject PE. Before we inject PE, the pain threshold about 17 seconds. And then 15 minutes later, be prolonged to 53 to 60 to 45 seconds. And compared to itself, PE from the pain threshold in PE group is prolonged from 17 to 53 to 60 seconds. We can know PE has analgesic action. And the last one, the third mouse, we intraperitoneal inject morphine. The pain threshold from 12.8 seconds to 60 seconds. And from this result, we can know morphine has strong analgesic action. And then the second one suggested, compared to morphine, PE also has strong analgesic action, but compared to morphine, its analgesic action lower than morphine. Okay, let's continue. In this experiment, you should write down the results on this table. And if we only do one group, the result is limited, not enough. So we should do at least 4 to 6 groups, and we can put this result together, and we can calculate the pain threshold enhancing rate. We can know PE has strong analgesic action. Okay, so we finished the experiment, but do you know PE, the full name is pethidine? Yes, pethidine you have studied. It is one kind of opioid receptor agonist. Pethidine also has strong analgesic action. So in clinic, we can use these two methods to observe A, B, C, D drug have or don't have analgesic action. If the drug have analgesic action, we can use in clinic to treat pain. And we can use these two methods to prove the drug have or don't have analgesic action. Okay, these two methods. The first method, chemical method, intraperitoneal inject acetic acid, and then we observe the numbers of writhing response. The second method, physical method, we put the mouse onto the hot plate and to observe the pain threshold. If the pain threshold is prolonged, prove the drug have analgesic action. If the pain threshold isn't prolonged, means the drug doesn't have analgesic action. The drug couldn't used in clinic to treat pain. Okay. In this experiment, we have known pethidine and morphine have strong analgesic action. Pethidine and morphine are opioid mu receptor agonists. Opioid mu receptor is the main receptor responsible for the central interpretation of pain and analgesia. Morphine and pethidine. Morphine is the prototypical agent of opioid receptors agonist. But in clinic, the commonly used opioid receptor agonist is PE, is pethidine. And in our experiment, we have proved PE, pethidine also has strong analgesic action. The mechanism of pethidine is related to activation of opioid receptors in supraspinal arrow, spinal dorsal horn, and primary afferent nerve tunnels by inhibiting cytoplasmal membrane calcium in flux. Opioids are used to relieve pain, especially serious acute and chronic pain in consciousness, and relieve the fear and anxiety associated with pain. Opioids such as morphine and pethidine also produce respiratory depression. So next experiment, we will observe the morphine's other effects. Okay, this class is finished. See you next time.